Pleasant afternoon, everyone. So today we're going to tackle to you the school policies and their functions. So schools are institutions motivated by shared visions. Necessarily, schools must have policies for them to realize their vision and mission. So schools are not just buildings. They have a purpose like helping students become educated, responsible, and successful individuals. To achieve this, they need clear rules or policies. These policies act like a guide so everyone, such as the students, the teachers, and staff, knows what to do and what is expected. These policies are a reflection of the values of the people who created them. The school rules shows what the school believes in. For example, if a school values respect, it will have rules about proper behavior. If it values excellence, it may have strict academic standards. So policies represents the principles and beliefs of the people who created them. Whatever policies are formulated must redound to the improved teaching learning of learners, which is the very reason of the existence of schools. So every rule of school policy should benefit students, especially in improving how they learn and how teachers teach. If a rule does not help learning, then it does not serve the main purpose of the school. The ultimate goal of the policies is better education. So now let us move on to the policies on collection of contributions. So a dollar recognized PTA may collect voluntary financial contributions from members and outside sources to enable it to fund and sustain its operation. The PTA or the Parents Teachers Association is allowed to ask for financial support to fund school programs, projects, and activities. However, this is a complete optional. Parents are not forced to give money. The purpose is to help improve school services and student experiences. So the contribution should be reasonable amount as may be determined by the PTA Board of Directors. Any amount requested should be affordable and fair for all families. The PTA Board of Directors decides how much should be asked, making sure it is not too expensive or burdensome. Non-payment of the contributions by the parents members shall not be basis for non-admission or non-issuance of clearance to the child by the school concerned. If the parents cannot or choose not to give money, their child should not be treated unfairly. The student still has the right to enroll, attend school, and receive important documents like report cards or clearances. Education should never depend on money contributions. No collection of PTA contributions shall be done during the enrollment period. Schools should not ask for contributions while students are enrolling. This is to avoid making it seem like payment are required for admission and to reduce pressure on parents. No teacher or any school personnel shall be involved in such collection activities. Teachers and school staff should focus on teaching and helping students, not collecting money. Handling contributions is the responsibility of the PTA, not the school employees. So that means that all the staff and the members of the educational setting, like the teachers, should not be part of the collection of that contributions because that's already the work of the PTA members.
Okay, and now we're going to tackle about what are the prohibited PTA activities. Okay, so PTA also known as the Parent-Teacher Association. So first, we have the interfering in the academic and administrative management and operations of the school and of the DepEd in general. So basically, the PTA or the Parent-Teacher Association should support the school, not make decisions about teaching, grading, discipline, or school management. Those are handled by school administration and Department of Education. So the PTA are not, dili sila ang liable aning di sila pwede mo discipline, di sila mo pwedeng make decisions because parent-teacher association naman sila. So wala sila karapatan nga mo kuan kay those are liable sa Department of Education. So next we have engaging any partisan political activity within school premises. Okay, so the PTA must not use the school or political campaigns, endorsement, or promoting any political candidate or party list. So basically, if ikaw usa ka teacher, di ka pwede nga mo endorse sa imong estudyante, di ka pwede mo di pwede sila pugson kung sa ilang belief sa ilang mga partido. So as a PTA or parent teacher association o sa kapartana, dili ka pwede mo endorse sa usa ka student or sa within school premises within bisag di student. So bisag dili student, dili ka pwede mo endorse sa ibang political ideas or sa ibang beliefs. So next we have number 3, operating a canteen, school supplies store, being a concessionaire thereof inside the school nearby premises. Okay, so basically the PTA or the Parent Teacher Association is not allowed to run a business inside near school such as canteen, supply store to avoid conflicts of interest. Next, number 4, selling insurance, pre-need plans or similar schemes of program students and on their parents. Okay, basically the PTA must not sell insurance or financial plans to families since they may pressure parents use the organization for business progress. Okay, next, number 5. PTA officers and members of the board of directors are prohibited from collecting salaries, honoraria, emoluments of the forms of compensation from any of the funds collected or received by the PTA. So basically, PTA officers or parent-teacher association officers serves voluntarily. So dili gyud siya kung voluntarily, it means voluntarily wala na sa honoraria or compensation sila ang pagserbisyo. They cannot take payment from PTA funds because the money is meant for school-related programs and activities. Okay, lastly, number 6. In no case shall a PTA or any of its officers or members of the board of director call upon students and teachers for purposes of investigation or disciplinary action. Okay, basically, the PTA cannot investigate or discipline students or teachers. That responsibility belong the school principal and authorized school officials. So ang Parent Teacher Association dili wala siya karapatan nga mo discipline sa usa ka estudyante because kaning ang this responsibility it belongs to principal or it might be sa school counselor sa ka eskwelahan.
And now, let's proceed to the importance of policies. Schools in partnership with their community have their own picture of what they want to be, and so must offer services and must do what they are supposed to do in order to realize that they envision themselves to be. For this to happen, policies must be in place. Schools' policy on the grading system is important for everyone concerned to know how grades are computed. Both students and parents know how grades are derived objectively. Policies are rules or guidelines that help schools run properly and fairly. They help schools achieve their goals and mission. Grading policies make sure grades are computed fairly and clearly so students and parents understand them. Without the grading policy, grading may become highly subjective. The policies on students, tardiness and absenteeism certainly will curb tardiness and absenteeism to ensure learning. Without grading policies, teachers may give grades based on personal opinion, which can be unfair. Policies about tardiness and absences help students become more disciplined and improve learning. Effective policy formulation and implementation. An effective policy formulation process must be participatory. This means that it is based that the rest of the school and community be involved. Beside participation of school and community develops a sense of ownership of such formulated policy which ensures a more effective implementation. This is school empowerment in action. A school head must ensure wide dissemination and correct and clear understanding of the policy. So, effective policy formulation and implementation. This means making and applying policies in the right way. Policies should involve the participation of the school and community so everyone's ideas are included. When people help create policies, they feel responsible for following and supporting them. School leaders should explain the policies clearly so everyone understands them correctly.